get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
So, Joy, have you ever been to a Turkish prison? Do you like gladiator movies? By the way, is there anyone listening who knows how to fly a plane? Well, looks like I picked the wrong day to give up Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond. That and sniffing glue. Not that there's a difference.
Hey, Thrive Loud listeners, Lou Diamond here. We have another spectacular mini-sode for you today featuring the dynamic, hilarious, and engaging keynote speaker, Christine Cashen. Christine and I had a fun chat a little over a year ago, October of 2018. Wow, time flies. Can't believe that was a year ago. Anyway, in that conversation, we covered many things. Christine talked about her campaign against global whining, and we even talked about one of the practices she preaches, sending thank you notes to people, which helped her, which is kind of a nice sign of gratitude. But most notably, which the team picked out for this mini-sode, is a piece which features around how she always is able to instill positivity in the moment, how she's always looking to figure out what can make the situation better. Any bad situation, how she could flip it so that she can find the upside in everything she does and everything we all do, which is a really great message for everyone to listen to. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this fun outtake from my conversation with Christine Cashen here on Thrive Loud. Who or what practice do you turn to get yourself back on the thriving track?
Oh my, you asked the best questions.
Yeah.
I find that when I get down, and I'm just like everybody else, I have those days where things are going wrong. I mean, I really try to embrace my hot messness because seriously, we're all hot messes trying to do the best we can. And so for me, I will turn to, I'll pick up the phone and I'll call a good friend. Like I will try to call Tammy Evans and she'll pick up the phone. She's another speaker, fabulous. And we just start laughing. I'll tell her, you won't believe it. You know, I went to make bread. The kids are going back to school and the bread's moldy and this and that. And I missed the bus schedule. And yeah, we just start laughing because you have to or you start crying. But to have someone that can commiserate with me and make me laugh, that's one of the things I do. I also will start writing thank you notes to people.
Really?
Yeah. I find it really makes me feel better. I'm like, who can I reach out to? You just don't get fun mail anymore. So I'll do some handwritten, just small notes or find little clippings of magazines that make me laugh or happy. And then I'll send people fun snail mail. And that really raises my spirits because I'm not focusing on what's happening to me. I'm looking at helping somebody else. And that always makes you feel better.
Oh, I love that. That's a great way. The thought that just ran through my head was what's his name? Jimmy Fallon on every Friday on The Tonight Show. He actually writes thank you notes and they always play. Wait, in fact, it kind of sounds like music like this, like, you know, dear Christine, thank you so much for coming on Thrive Loud today. It was a true pleasure having you. I hope that lightning didn't strike down the house. It was great to talk to you.
That's perfect. You know what? I need to put music on just like that when I do it. I think that would even enhance the whole moment. So thank you.
It'd be great. You could do an audio tape to communicate that message. So I wanted to get to this part about whining, and I started to get this with speaking because you and I, we actually met at a very large speaking conference out in Dallas. And it's made up of tons of people just like us with the same type of very quiet personalities and don't like to talk to people. Now, you know, very outgoing types. Yet we've heard, and this goes back to a little bit of the drama or the whining. I've heard stories of people who will complain about all the different nuances and components of the business of speaking, because it does take you out on the road. It does take you in other places, and it is a hard business to crack through. And so there's a lot of things that people complain about. What message would you want to give to your fellow speakers who maybe are whining just a little bit too much about what they do?
Oh, man, what? This best job in the whole world. With whatever you do, no matter what your job is, whether you're a speaker or not a speaker, take a look at what bugs you the most. Like for me, let's say it is travel. Then I think, what can make travel even better? Well, when I go to a city that I know someone, even though I don't feel like it, I might call them and say, hey, meet me for dinner. Meet me for coffee. I just recently spoke in South Dakota and I asked the driver, would you just make a quick detour? I'd love to see Mount Rushmore. I mean, what can you do? Think about those areas that are your worst. Like, let's say it's commuting to your job. What could make it better? Well, maybe it's not listening to talk radio. Maybe it's listening to some awesome podcast like this one that's uplifting, right? And
I like the plug you're going with, Christine.
yeah,
We're going to use this as a show opening.
It's true. Listen to something that's uplifting rather than something that gets you more road rage, right? So I think if people would just look at their own life, look at those areas that they don't really like and see what they can do to make it better. When I fly, I always sit next to the best person on the plane.
Okay,
Why?
wait. No, what does that mean? The best person on the plane?
I sit next to the best person on the plane because I do. I'll sit down. And I'm like, I don't mean to give you any pressure, but I always sit next to the best person on the plane. Tell me about you, And they're like, oh my God, what? I'm like, I know it's this thing I have. And I swear 9 out of 10 times I meet the most wonderful person who always ends up saying, I never talk to people on planes. This was really fun.
That's great.
Fast. We get Bloody Marys. It's really fun. So I think sometimes what you put out there is definitely what you get back.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Thrive Loud. Or find us on the web at thriveloud.com.